Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning. So we shall move on to the lecture now. So we started our lecture in the unit 3, that is the matrix materials. We discussed about the introduction to what is the mean by matrix and its role, and we moved on to discuss about what is a thermoset and thermoplastic and its types. Then in the last lecture we discussed about the epoxy resins. So in the epoxy resins we have discussed about how to synthesize the epoxy resin and how it is to be used, that we have discussed. So there are some two types of systems in the epoxy. One is the based on the uh, DGBA system, another is TGBDM system. These two systems we discussed and its advantages and disadvantages we have seen in the last lecture. So today we will move on to the next thermoset resin, which is the polyester. Okay. So before going into the lecture, I want to ask you whether is polyester a thermoplastic or a thermoset? Can anyone tell the answer? Which polyester? I'm going to use here speaking about the polyester as a thermoset. But is polyester in general, you may have studied that it is a thermoplastic. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So, but here in general, you see polyester can exist in the form of thermoplastic also and thermoset also. There are two different kinds of polyester where there is a difference in their chemical structure. One is a thermoplastic and another is a thermosetting polyester. Okay, so if you see, polyester is a trade, but polyethylene terephthalate is the chemical class. Okay, so this polyester, it is produced by the esterification reaction, which you have learned during the man-made fiber manufacture. How this esterification process works? A diacid and a dialcohol will react. Okay, whether it is like a DMK route or a DMT route or a TPA route, a diacid and a dialcohol will react in the high temperature polycondensation to produce the polyester. Okay, so for fibers, for polyester, manufacturing the fibers or plastic parts, this thermoplastic polyester is used, okay, which you have learned already. Okay, but thermosetting polyester is something different, where the diacid will react with the multifunctional alcohols, okay, like glycerin, okay, and some monomers including unsaturated bonds. So a diacid will react with the multifunctional alcohols. So what will happen if both of them react? It will form a macromolecular chain resulting in the form of a 3D network. Okay, but if you compare it with the thermoplastic polymer, it will not form a 3D network. But whereas here, thermosetting polymer, it will form some cross links that will lead to the formation of a 3D structure. Okay, you know what is meant by a 3D structure, okay, which will contain length, weight, and depth. It will contain. Okay, so you will get a thermoset network if you react the diacid with the multifunctional alcohols. So this polyester, thermoset polyester, when you heat, what will happen? It will not melt. It will just, when you prolong heat for a long time, it will degrade without getting melted. Okay, and it will permanently remain solid. Okay, so this is used as a matrix material with the reinforcing fibers and other particulate materials. Okay, so this thermosetting polyester is used in the composites as a matrix phase, which is a continuous phase for reinforcing the fibers or other particulate material. It is not the thermoplastic material polyester they are going to use in the composites. It is the thermoset polyester that we are going to use in the composite. That you should know the difference before you learn what is the polyester in the matrix phase. Okay, so coming down to the thermoset polyester, how it is manufactured? It is manufactured by reacting malic anhydride and ethylene glycol or a propylene glycol. Okay, this anhydride, malic anhydride, it is a diacid. Okay, it is a diacid functionality. If you just see the structure, this is the malic anhydride structure. So here you can see this carboxylic acid group which is placed, which is here. Okay, and here you can see here this is a carboxylic acid group. Okay, and here there is another carboxylic acid group. Okay, so this is a diacid functionality, COOH and COOH. So malic anhydride is a diacid functionality. This will react with the multifunctional alcohol like ethylene glycol or a propylene glycol. So any setup of a multifunctional alcohol can be used. So this both of them regard what will happen. It is a polycondensation reaction. So water or any other molecules will get liberated. Okay, and it forms a unsaturated polyester molecules. What is mean by this word called unsaturated? Unsaturated means what? If what is mean by the difference, saturated or unsaturated in the chemical
Double
structure?
bond.
Huh?
Double bond and triple bond are present in unsaturated.
Yes, double bond and triple bond, these are called the unsaturated. Okay, double bond and triple bond are called unsaturated, where there is a scope for actually converting it to a triple bond can further broken down into double bond, and double bond can further broken down into single bond. So this is there. So it is unsaturated. Okay, there is a scope for further reaction. Okay, but whereas if you just compare this over the thermoplastic polyester, it will contain the single bond. Okay, just to recall the structure that you have learned during the polyester manufacture, what type of N group, what type of a structure finally formed. Okay, so it will contain some benzene rings and CH groups. This only was there CHOH groups. Maybe this will contain. So it will not contain a double bond as such. Okay, so this thermoset polyester, it is manufactured by a diacid functionality, which is the malic anhydride with the ethylene glycol. It will form the unsaturated polyester molecule. Okay, this unsaturated polyester molecule, this can be used as a matrix material to manufacture the composites. Okay, so first you need this unsaturated polyester molecule so that you can mix it with some ingredients and use it as a matrix material. Okay, so here you see wherever these double bonds are there, you can see this asterisk portion is the C double bond, or here you can see this C double bond here, this portion especially, it is a place where the unsaturation points. Okay, so these are the reactive sites. So where these places, wherever these double bonds are there, that places reaction is possible to convert it into single bond, so that further bond can be broken down to single bond. That opportunity it is there. So now you have an unsaturated molecule. How will you use it as a matrix? Because you know very well this polyester, it is a little rigid polyester. Okay, so it will have a high Tg. Then how will you use it as a matrix? For using it as a matrix material, you require it to be in the form of a liquid or a solution form. Okay, so how will you do that? For that, you require a material, a solvent, or you can say a diluent. Okay, you use a chemical called styrene. Okay, styrene is a solvent or a polymerizable diluent that is used to reduce the viscosity of this unsaturated polyester. Okay, so this polyester, it is dissolved in this styrene. Okay, so once it is dissolved, what will happen? You know, this diluent styrene, if you see the structure, this is the structure of the styrene. Okay, this is the structure of the styrene. So this styrene also contains double bond. So this styrene, when you dissolve this unsaturated polyester in this styrene, what will happen? It will reduce the viscosity of the polyester, unsaturated polyester, and also what will happen? This C double bond C. This styrene also contains the C double bond C, and this malic and this unsaturated polyester also contain uh, this C double bond C. Okay, you can see here. So this can react in this C double bond C can act as a cross-linking agent by bridging, and at the unsaturation point, this can react actually. Okay, so that what will happen? It can go on making the cross links. Okay, it can go on making the cross links. And apart from adding this styrene, which is actually used to reduce the, which is actually a diluent, and also it is used to reduce the viscosity. It will reduce some TG of the polyester, so that it will dissolve, so that it will become a solution form. It is a cross-linking agent. It will bridge the unsaturated molecules, adjacent polyester molecules at the unsaturation points, and it will start building the 3D network. And in this reaction, you know, there is one more thing. You have to add a chemical called inhibitor, something like a benzoquinone or hydroquinone. These are, this is the some example for an inhibitor, something like that you can add. And apart from that, this inhibitor, why it is needed? Because any kind of a premature polymerization, to prevent the premature polymerization, that is added. And apart from that, I'm sorry, this is not a tertiary butyl perbenzoate molecule. Okay, this one, it is not a this is not a hydro, this is not a quinone structure. This is a catalyst. Okay, I'm sorry, this is a catalyst. So you see, as I have already told you, this thermoset, when you do the thermoset, manufacture the thermoset resin, you have to do the, you need to do the curing. Okay, that curing can be made faster if you use a catalyst. Okay, you can add a peroxide or an aliphatic azo compound, any kind of a catalyst you can use, so that what will happen, the reaction can be made faster. Otherwise, if you want to do the room temperature curing, it may take more time. Okay, so that is the difference. So that is why we actually use a high temperature of, say, around 107 to 163 degree. This catalyst will decompose to free radicals, and it will react with the styrene molecules and break its DC double bond C. This will join with the styrene radicals with fastly free radical polymerization. It will join very fast at the unsaturation points and forms cross links between the polyester molecules. So once the cross links are formed, what will happen? It will result in the formation of a solid polyester resin. Okay, so here this catalyst, whichever we are adding, it is a catalyst, and this styrene styrene is used as a polymerizable diluent actually to convert it, reduce the viscosity, and you convert into liquid form. And these catalysts are added so that what will happen? It is like which will initiate the reaction, so that what will happen, it will form a 3D network very fast. So this hardener, I have mentioned a word called hardener, which is used in the thermoset. So this hardener, it is like a curing agent. Okay, so this catalyst can be a hardener, so that if this catalyst is added, the reaction can be made faster. Okay, so finally you will going to get the polyester resin. Okay, so once you are manufacturing a composite, you have a reinforcement, whether the reinforcement is in the form of a fiber or a fabric, or in the form of a whisker or particulates, or in the form of a unidirectional fibers, whatever it is in the form. In that, if you have a polyester resin, you can you can use with the styrene, and if you have a catalyst, you apply heat so that reaction can be made faster, so that it will form a composite material. Okay, so that is the difference. So if you see the advantages of this polyester resin, The advantage of this polyester resin is it can be formulated in a variety of properties ranging from hard and brittle to soft and flexible. That is possible. And the advantages you see, advantages, it has a low viscosity when you compare it with other resins. It has a low viscosity and fast curing time. That is an important advantage. It will not take hours to cure. It will fast curing. Low cost is less. Not like epoxy. And its properties, if you compare, it is actually lower than the epoxy. You will not get that kind of a property enhancement advantages that you obtain from the epoxies. So this also contains some disadvantages. One important disadvantage is the shrinkage. Some composites, whichever you are making, that will actually result in some volumetric shrinkage. Okay. And if you see, once the composite it is made, because of the difference in the shrinkage between the resin and the fiber, some depression marks will be found on the molded surface. If you have made a particular shape, that shape actually, because of the difference in the shrinkage between the resin and the fiber, that will result in the some sink marks. Okay, so that what will happen if that sink marks are found, it will not, the appearance will not be good. It will, for any kind of exterior surfaces where you require a good appearance and shining, that appearance you will not get from when you use this polyester. So this is a disadvantage, where this volumetric, because of the volumetric shrinkage problem, it is there in this epoxy. This will result in the sink marks. So for example, what is a sink mark? If you want to just see the picture. So if you see, this is some sort of a design which you want to produce. Okay, here this kind of impressions you can get. This is called the sink marks, or some sort of a voids inside the composite may be there. So that what will happen if any kind of a stress is given, it may undergo a fracture or a breakage. It is possible. So this polyester have this shrinkage, volumetric shrinkage problems. So that is one of the great disadvantage in this. And so if you compare, though there are some advantages like low viscosity, fast curing time, and low cost, these properties are still, it is lesser than that of epoxy. If you just recall our discussion on epoxy, epoxy has a large advantages. Okay, like a high strength, and many curing agents, many starting materials, great number of grades available, acid resistance, alkaline resistance, low shrinkage, especially during the curing. So absence of volatile materials during the cure. So these are a number of advantages. But whereas here you are using a chemical called styrene. Okay, this styrene actually, it is the styrene is a little toxic. Okay, so this styrene creates some toxic fumes during the manufacture. So that is also another problem with this polyester when you use the polyester resin. Okay, this is about the polyester resin. Next, we will move on to discuss about another thermoset resin, which is called the vinyl ester. Okay, vinyl ester. So from the word itself, you can understand the raw material for this contains a vinyl ester. Okay, it contains an unsaturated vinyl ester resin. The raw material, in the sense, for producing the vinyl ester resin, you need a unsaturated vinyl ester resin. Like you had the polyester, unsaturated polyester, you need a unsaturated vinyl ester resin. How will you produce that unsaturated vinyl ester resin? It is similar to the same polyester type of a reaction, where there you reacted acid and alcohol, a diacid and a dialcohol, like malic anhydride and ethylene glycol or propylene glycol. But whereas here, what you do is you take an acid and then going to react it with the epoxy. That is the difference. Here, the raw material for producing the vinyl ester resin, it is the epoxy resin. Okay, so you see here in this the reaction, whatever it is happening, it is similar to the one that you have observed in the polyester. This also contains some C double bond C points. You can at the end groups, as an end at the polymer terminal ends of the molecule, you can see the C double bond C, so that cross-linking can take place only at the ends. And you see, because of the fewer amount of crosslinks, when the vinyl ester gets cured, it becomes more flexible and has a higher fracture toughness when compared to the cured polyester resin. Okay, and another advantage is it contains a number of hydroxyl groups along the length, so that what is the advantage? Because of the presence of more hydroxyl groups, this can actually form a good adhesion with the glass pipe. When you are making a fiber composite like glass fiber composite, this OH group can form hydrogen bonds with some similar groups on the glass fiber, so that resulting in a good wet out properties. Like a coupling agent, it can form a good adhesion with the glass fibers. So coming how, before seeing how it is manufactured, we will just see the reaction first. You need a epoxy resin. What is epoxy? Epoxy is this 2 carbon bound to 1 hydrogen. Okay. So this is the epoxy group. Okay. This is the raw material is the epoxy. Okay, at the terminal ends you can see 2 epoxy resin. It is going to react with the carboxylic acid, which can be a methacrylic acid or it can be acrylic acid. Okay, so these two things will react, and what will happen at the it will result in the formation of a vinyl ester resin. This vinyl esters, you can see it is, as I have told you, it contains the C double bond C at the ends of the vinyl ester molecule. This is the vinyl ester. As I told you, how an ester is produced, an acid and alcohol result in the formation of an ester. Okay, a diacid and a dialcohol. But here, what you are using, here you are using the epoxy resin and the unsaturated carboxylic acid. This is the methacrylic acid. This will result in the form of a vinyl ester resin. Here you can see this C double bond C at the end groups. Okay, you can see here. Okay. So this at the ends you can see. So at these portions, the reaction is going to happen similarly as you have observed in the polyester resin. In the polyester resin, these end groups were not at the end; it was at the between. If you just observe, the C double bond C groups was actually at the middle portion. But whereas here in the vinyl esters, the C double bond C, it is actually at the end. Okay. So this vinyl ester resin you have produced, then how will you carry out the reaction? Okay, so this is also vinyl ester resin also have to be it is a highly viscous rigid type of a polymer. You have to add some diluent actually to reduce the viscosity. So for that, what you do, similar to the polyester resin, you are going to use a styrene monomer. It is a diluent. You will add it so that it will reduce the TG. It will like a plasticizer. It will reduce the glass transition temperature, and it will dissolve the vinyl ester resin. Okay, similar to the reaction, this styrene will react with the vinyl ester resin at the wherever the C double bond C groups are there, wherever there is unsaturation is there, that places it will react and it will start making the polymerization. It will start making the polymerization. It will result in the form of a cross-linking. It will create cross-links between the unsaturation points in the adjacent vinyl ester molecules. Okay, so here also the same styrene, which this is the styrene which contains a benzene ring which is double bond CH, double bond CH2. So this is going to be used as a diluent, and it will react. These double bonds in the styrene will co-react with the double bonds in the vinyl ester, and it will start making the 3D network. Okay, so if you see the curing reaction, it is similar to that of unsaturated polyester. The curing reaction is same, where you have to add some catalyst or anything, so that what will happen, you will get a cross-linked vinyl ester resin. Like you can see here, this styrene, this is the one polymer chain, okay, which contains the OH groups. You can see here OH groups are there, okay, here one OH group is there, here one OH group is there, and here the styrene will start actually building up the polymer chains like this, connecting the polymer chains one by one. So you can see here like this, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, like overall it will connect. So that what will happen when you make a composite, when you manufacture a composite, there this mixing, once your matrix it is ready, after you are using it in the solution form, after you have put some fibers in a place where some particular mold, in a particular mold wherever you require a particular shape, after you have put that, and after you put the matrix material, this styrene will start its reaction by building the network, 3D network like this, by combining the polymer chains, so that what will happen, it will form a 3-dimensional network. Okay, so it is similar to the polyester resin, but only difference is in the vinyl ester resin, the raw material used is slightly different. And there in polyester you use diacid and polyargon. Here you are using the acid with the epoxy. The raw material for manufacturing the vinyl ester resin, it is the epoxy, and the diluent used is the same, styrene, and the reaction you carry is the same. And another difference is in polyester resin you will not have these OH groups, but whereas here you have the abundant OH groups present in the vinyl ester structure, so that you can observe this styrene can connect the each and individual polymer chains in the vinyl esters along with the fibers. It can form a composite. Okay, so if you see, similar to epoxy resin, this also have a good characteristic like chemical resistance, tensile strength, and like low viscosity, fast curing. These are the advantages. Whereas epoxy do not have a fast curing; it will take more time to cure. There is a disadvantage in the epoxy, but whereas vinyl ester, the curing is faster and low viscosity also. But here there is similar to the polyester, because this is also an ester. Again, this has some volumetric shrinkage problem, like 5 to 10% shrinkage it will exhibit, which is actually higher than that of the epoxy resins. Okay, that is a disadvantage. And moderate adhesive strength when compared with the epoxy resin. So epoxy resin have a good adhesive strength. This does not happen. This medium level. And if you see tensile and flexural properties, like any kind of a tensile force or flexural force, if you give, this can actually withstand. So some properties are actually similar to epoxy, but the disadvantage is that the volumetric shrinkage of 5 to 10%, and it has a moderate adhesive strength when you just compare it with the epoxy resin. So this is about the vinyl ester resins. Okay. So in today's lecture, we have discussed about two different matrix materials. One is the polyester matrix, and another is the vinyl ester matrix. So both of them, how to manufacture that and how to dilute that, and how the mechanism, on what mechanism it works, those things we have discussed. That's all for today's discussion. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can stop here for today.